Hello, I'm Barbara Martin, and welcome to Holistic Healing Arts. A couple of weeks ago, I sent out in my newsletter and posted on my Facebook page the Four Elements meditation. And today I'd like to focus on one of those elements. If you missed that meditation, you can find it on my website, Barbara Martin Holistic Healing Arts. If you go to the meditations and music page. And you can also sign up for my newsletter on the website, which goes out every couple of weeks. So I'd like to focus on the element of air today, the element of air in the body and the element of air in nature. In indigenous cultures, the elements are very, very important. The elements of the body, the elements of nature, they're not seen as two separate things. They're constantly interacting and part of. So I'd like to start out by honoring the elements and honoring the directions by calling in the directions. And there's many ways to call in the directions. Today I'm going to do a way that comes from Native American indigenous culture. Mother Earth, Father Sky, to the winds of the east, the element of air, the rising sun, the healing of the mind. To the winds of the south, the element of water, the noonday sun, the healing of the heart. To the winds of the west, the element of fire, the setting sun, the healing of spirit. To the winds of the north, the element of earth, the nighttime sky, the healing of all things physical. So that is also called opening sacred space, calling in the directions. So today I wanted to focus on the element of air, starting with the element of air in our body. We might start by just taking a few deep breaths. Just noticing the breath. You might experiment by breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. You might even try making a small sighing sound, or any kind of sound you want to make on the exhale. And then allowing the breath to return to normal. Perhaps taking a few moments to notice how the body breathes itself. We don't have to tell the body to breathe, it just breathes. So there's a few places in the body to notice the element of air, the breath. You might start by placing one or both hands on the tummy, allowing the tummy muscles to soften. Noticing the rise and fall of the tummy with each inhale and exhale. Not trying to change the breath or control the breath in any way, just allowing it, just watching it. And this can be a very comforting place to notice the breath, especially with the hands on the tummy. If you're feeling some anxiety or stress, this can be a nice thing to do. Just placing the hands on the belly and watching the breath. Another place to notice the breath is at your ribs. This is a little more subtle, but focusing on the ribs, you may notice the outward expansion of the ribs with each inhale, and the inward contraction of the ribs with each exhale. Or you might try placing the palms on the sides of the ribs, noticing that movement, breathing in, expanding outward, breathing out, contracting inward. Another place you can notice the breath is at the nostrils. And once again, this is a more subtle place to notice the breath. You might start by noticing the temperature of the air as it enters the nostrils, and the temperature of the air as it leaves the nostrils. Noticing that difference of temperature. You might even feel the breath on the exhale as it crosses the upper lips. And this is a focused place to notice the breath. I find it helpful to notice the breath here at the nostrils when I'm feeling overwhelmed and chaotic and my mind is going in a million different directions. I find it helpful to pause, notice the breath at the nostrils. And lastly, you can notice the breath as it enters the whole body. Breathing in, filling the whole body, every cell with the breath. Breathing out and the air leaving the body. Breathing in, filling the body. Breathing out, the air leaving the body. And this can be a very expansive place to notice the breath. You might try experimenting with this when you're feeling hemmed in. So those are ways to notice the breath, the element of air in the body. You can also notice the element of air in the natural world. You might start by opening a window and feeling the air coming in, perhaps touching the skin, cooling the skin, just the sensation of the air on skin. Perhaps noticing the air, the wind moving a curtain, or you might find it helpful to step outside for just a few minutes. Take a break, pause, with the intention of noticing the element of air. You can leave your eyes open or closed, noticing the feel of air on skin, warm, cool, cold, soft, whatever you're feeling. You might even catch a few smells or scents carried by the air. If you have your eyes closed, you could open them and look around. Notice the element of air. You might notice a leaf trembling on a branch, moved by the element of air. If you're close to any water, you might notice the wind moving across the water, creating ripples. And if it's blowing up a storm, you might hear the wind. You might hear the wind moving through the trees, rustling the leaves, or perhaps really making a fierce sound. So this is a nice thing to do, just for a minute or so. Take a break. You don't even have to go for a walk, although it's really nice to go for a walk. Just stepping outside for a couple minutes with the intention of focusing on the element of air. So I hope you enjoyed this. Send me an email. Let me know what you think.